Hi, I'm Ava, and today, I want to tell you a story that changed not just my life, but also my daughter's, and in a way I never could have expected. Life has a funny way of surprising you when you least expect it, sometimes in the most unimaginable ways. But before I get ahead of myself, let me take you back to where it all began. For many years, it was just my daughter and me. My husband passed away when she was still quite young, leaving a hole in both our lives that seemed impossible to fill. He was the love of my life, and in the years that followed, I never thought I'd find love again. My daughter became my entire world. We lived in a posh part of the city, I had a stable private job, and though life wasn't perfect, it was enough. But there were nights, after a long day, when the house felt too quiet, the air too still, and loneliness would creep in like a silent shadow. Then one day, something unexpected happened at work. I met him, John. He was new to the office, and there was an instant connection between us. We didn't dive into anything immediately. It started with casual conversations at the coffee machine, glances exchanged in meetings, and slowly, something deeper began to form. I hadn't felt this way in years. My heart raced when I saw him, and I found myself looking forward to going to work, just to catch a glimpse of him. John was also a single parent. His wife had passed away a few years ago, and like me, he was devoted to his daughter, Sarah. Coincidentally, Sarah was the same age as my daughter, Lily. As John and I grew closer, our relationship blossomed into love, and before long, we decided to take the next step. We got engaged and planned to get married. Both Lily and Sarah seemed fine with our decision, though they were still adjusting to the idea of their parents remarrying. The wedding day was beautiful, one of those perfect, sunny days where everything just feels right. We were surrounded by friends and family, and for the first time in years, I felt whole again. After the wedding, John and I mutually decided that I would move into his home. Lily agreed, understanding that I would need time to adjust to a new space, though she planned to move out soon after to live on her own. At first, everything seemed perfect. Lily and Sarah were polite but distant, each living in their own worlds. They didn't really talk much, and it was understandable, they were both still adjusting to the new family dynamic. But that all changed one day. It started with a simple coincidence. They bumped into each other outside the house and exchanged more than just a casual greeting. From that day on, their interactions gradually shifted from obligatory small talk to genuine conversations. Sarah was struggling with something at work, and Lily offered to help her out. That was the spark that ignited their friendship. I remember watching them from the sidelines, amazed at how close they were becoming. They started spending more time together, helping each other with work, going shopping, even watching movies together. I felt relieved, as did John. We had worried about how they'd get along, but it seemed like everything was falling into place. They'd share stories about their past, laugh about silly things, and open up about their dreams and ambitions. Their friendship was growing stronger by the day, and I was so happy for them. But then something changed. It was the night of Sarah's party. She was nervous about what to wear, and after rummaging through her closet, she asked Lily for advice. Lily suggested a stunning black dress, but it was a bit tricky for Sarah to put on, so she asked for Lily's help. What happened next took everyone by surprise. As Lily helped Sarah into the dress, their eyes met, and something shifted in the air between them. It was like the temperature in the room rose all at once, the atmosphere suddenly heavy with an unspoken tension. Their hearts raced, and before they knew it, they were kissing. It was a deep, passionate kiss that neither of them could deny. In that moment, everything changed. Their friendship had transformed into something deeper, something neither of them had anticipated. From then on, their relationship became more intense, but they tried to hide it. They'd spend more time together, sometimes sharing tender moments in private, like stealing kisses when no one was around or teasing each other during dinner. They were scared, though. Scared of what John and I would think, scared of what the world would say. They knew that what they had was real, but the fear of being discovered weighed heavily on them. And then, one evening, everything came crashing down. John and I came home earlier than expected one night and found them in a deep, passionate kiss. The room fell silent as the weight of the situation settled on all of us. No one knew what to say. John was shocked, and I didn't know how to process it. My daughter and his daughter. How had we missed the signs? We had a long, painful conversation that night. John and I sat them down and asked them to explain everything. They admitted their feelings for each other and how it had all started. As parents, we were caught between the shock of the situation and the realization that our daughters had found love in each other. It wasn't what we had expected, but after many tears and honest conversations, we came to one conclusion: everyone deserves to find happiness, no matter what form that love takes. John and I held a family meeting, and I'll never forget what he said. In this world, everyone deserves happiness and true love. No matter what society says, love is love. And that was it. We accepted their relationship, and from that moment on, our family became something different, something more. It wasn't the traditional path we had envisioned, but it was a path filled with love, acceptance, and happiness. Life isn't always what you expect, but that doesn't mean it's any less beautiful. My story, our story, is a reminder that love takes many forms. It's not always conventional, but as long as it's rooted in happiness and honesty, it's something to be celebrated. Now, we're a family, a different kind of family, but a family nonetheless. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Life has taught me that love is fluid, unpredictable, and at times, challenging. But it's also the most powerful force in the world, capable of bridging divides, healing wounds, and bringing people together in ways you never thought possible. And that's my story. I hope it resonates with you, and maybe, just maybe, it'll remind you that love, in all its forms, deserves to be embraced.